Hello everyone. Today we will learn about constructor chaining. Before we proceed towards constructor chaining, let's look at a small note which we need to keep in mind, which is every class in Java must have superclass. We in previous class we talked about inheritance, right? So if you see the example of single level, we had class A sample, class B sample, which extends to A sample, and in our main class we are creating the object of B sample and calling all the members of A sample using a B sample object. So in this example, if you notice, for class B sample we are explicitly declaring extends A sample inheritance, right? But what about other two classes like class A sample and public class single level? These two classes do not have any explicit inheritance, but compiler will add default inheritance on its own, and the superclass in this case is object. If you see, that is what here I have mentioned. If programmer do not define the superclass, compiler will add object class as a superclass by default. Every class in Java is a subclass of object class. So let's take a simple example, example 1, where we have public class sample, and ignore this which is in blue font. We have some statements and in variable declaration, etc. If we ignore or if we do not create a inheritance, by default compiler will add extends object, which is on its own by default by the compiler side. And this is the another example which we saw in the Visual Studio Eclipse, which is single level inheritance, and this one is defined by a programmer or user, whereas this is which is in blue is defined by the compiler by default, meaning every class in Java extends to object class. So this is a small note we should keep in mind, which will be useful for constructor chaining.